through all the years that you've been running Eigen, you know, for you, what has been the consistent thing around data that's kind of run through all of the different projects and different people you've worked with? You know, why has there been such an emphasis on kind of getting that data right? And I think we'll start from there, really.
Okay, I think because in order to take an action, to decide to do something, you have to trust the data that you've used to make that decision. And the reality is, in most industrial companies, the data takes some sorting out. Even simple stuff in a complex industry becomes hard to understand very quickly. For example, certain amounts, in order to get enough information together to make a decision, you very quickly end up needing to go across systems for things. So for example, if you're about to do some maintenance, then you will have the fact that you're doing that maintenance in a work order system. But you might be getting in third-party contractors, and the contract with them lies in a purchasing system. That you may need to raise a requisition, and it may start in one system and transfer to another system. So even to answer a simple question like, well, how much are we spending on maintenance, or are we planning to spend on maintenance in the next 2 weeks, can become very difficult to answer. You also have the scenario where the thing being measured isn't quite in the place that you want it to be. So for example, what's the flow into my separator? Well, the separator may not actually have a flow meter on it. So what you're having to do is to look upstream or downstream to the nearest one, and then infer from that what's actually going through the separator. So you've got different scenarios that lead to you having to use your judgment to figure out what the truth is, what's really happening in this certain place. So if you then layer on top of that the fact that in these different systems things can be called different things, or they can be recorded at different levels of veracity, or different time intervals, or different units of measure even, it very quickly becomes quite a job to assimilate this information together to get to the point where you make a decision. So if you're going to do a project that's going to do some high level thing on top of this information, in order to trust what comes out of it, you have to make sure that what's going in is quality, yeah, to start with.